Alright, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, coming back with another video, giving all honor and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. Shalom, Shalom. And this video is going to be on praying, on how to pray, because there's an order to all things when you come to this truth, right? You don't just pray however you want. There's an order, and there's a list of commandments on how you must pray, right? We're going to get into that. It's not going to be long, Most High willing, is just on how to pray real quick. So this is Psalms 5 and verse 7. And this is Daniel. It says, but as for me, Slacky, not Daniel, David, Slacky. This is King David. He says, but as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fear will I worship toward thy holy temple. Now that holy temple he's speaking of is Jerusalem, and it's talking about the east. So when our forefathers prayed, they got up and they prayed towards the east, right? They didn't just pray wherever they want, right? They didn't pray in the bus terminal, right? Just in any direction, right? There was a direction that you must pray to, and that's the holy temple of Jerusalem, right? And that's towards the east. Now this is Daniel 6 and 10. Book of Daniel. Daniel 6 and verse 10. And it says, now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being opened in his chamber toward Jerusalem, which is the east, he kneeled upon his knees. And also he kneeled upon his knees when he prayed, right? Kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day, and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime. So he got on his knees, right? He faced Jerusalem, and he prayed 3 times a day, right? So that's the minimum. You could pray 3 times a day, if not more. Brothers have prayed more than that, right? You could pray 7 times a day. You could pray 20. It don't matter. Whatever the Spirit bears witness with, that's what you should do. But the minimum is 3 prayers a day, right? And you kneel upon your knees. That's one way to pray. You also can stand up, which we're going to get into that. Now, this is Mark 11 and 25. Mark 11 and verse 25. And it says, and when ye stand praying, forgive if ye have aught against any, meaning if you got any problems against anybody, grudges, that your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. So when you pray, you could also stand up. You can kneel upon your knees, and you can stand up and pray to the Most High, right? Now this is 1 Timothy 2 and 8. 1 Timothy 2 and verse 8. And it says, I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. So when you pray, you don't go like this. You don't go like this and you pray, right? You go like this. You lift up your hands and pray. I'll read that again. This is 1 Timothy 2 and 8. I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. So you must lift up your hands when you pray. Now this is Matthew, the 6th chapter. Matthew 6, and I'll start at 5. And it says, and when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues, meaning the churches, and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Now, there's instances where Israel, I'm going to bring that out, Israel has prayed all together, right? Now, you can do that, but when he's saying standing in these synagogues praying, you got to really keen into the point of him saying that is because they're standing in these synagogues and standing in the open in the streets to be seen of men, right? You see sometimes with these Jewish people, right? I've drove down the street and I've actually seen Jewish people. It'll be one of them. The lady, she'll got the book open. She'll stand up with the book open. Every car that's passing by, she turning around and looking, and she closing her eyes. She turning around and looking. That's what he means. You're praying for the sight of men. So also when you pray, you're not going to say you committed adultery. You're not going to stand in the middle of the street. It's everybody outside and you, Lord, please forgive me for committing adultery. No. When Israel prayed all together, they prayed for a unity thing, for all together. It was a prayer for all men, right? Just a throw up prayer, man, for Israel. It's a prayer for Israel. When they pray for Israel. They didn't go and This brother is just standing outside. Everyone's buying and selling, right? And the brother just standing outside and he just praying. And everybody looking at him like, what is he doing? Right? And then he opening, he going like this. He got his eyes closed like this. Then he opening, he looking. Then he, oh, Father, da, da. You can't be doing that, man. That's you praying for the sight of men. That's what he's talking about, right? Now, also, like I said, again, I'm going to keep saying it. You do not go and try to pray for the sight of men. You don't just stand in the middle of the bus terminal and you pray. You don't do that. Even if you sincerely think you're sincerely praying, you don't stand in the middle of the bus terminal or everybody walking past and you praying. You got to go in the bathroom or something, right? You got to go in the bathroom, shut the door, right? Go in the closed area, you know, where nobody can see you, right? That's what you must do, but it's going to say that. For they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward, and their reward is the eyes of men. But thou, when thou prayest, but you, when you pray, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. So when you pray, you must go in a closet. Meaning, it doesn't literally have to be a closet, but in a closed area. Right? As you can see, that door is closed. There's nothing else in here. So in here, I could just sit here and pray. Right? I could pray to the Most High. Right? Because I'm in a closed area. No one can see me. You may hear me, because when you pray, you're supposed to lift up your voice, which we're going to get into. But you're not seeing me. You're not, visually seeing me. Right? Because a lot of brothers do that for the sight of men. Now, let's get 2 Kings 4:33. And we're going to show you, give you an instance where Israel had prayed together also. I'll do that too, since I brought it out. This is 2 Kings 4:33. And it says, he went in therefore and shut the door upon them twain. I'll start at 32. And when Elisha was come into the house, behold, the child was dead and laid upon his bed. He went in therefore and shut the door upon them twain and prayed unto the Lord. So he shut the door and prayed to the Lord, man. He didn't have the door open. He peeking outside. Everybody, I'm praying. And then he's standing in the crack of the door where everyone can see him, and he just praying to the Most High. He shut the door. So men's eyes are not laying hold on him praying, right? He's not praying for the sight of men. He's sincerely praying for the forgiveness, or he's sincerely praying to the Most High. I'll put it like that, right? Now this is Ecclesiastes. Actually, I'll show you 1 Samuel real quick. 1 Samuel 7 and 5. This is the book of 1 Samuel. It's like it. This is Samuel 7 and verse 5. Oh, it's like I'm on second. This is 1 Samuel. Bear with me, Israel. 1 Samuel 7 and 5, and it says, and Samuel said, gather all Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray for you unto the Lord. He said in Samuel, gather all Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray for you unto the Lord. So brothers pray together, right? You can pray together, right? That's not off, right? That's according to scriptures. But you don't individually go and praying for your lust demon off of you, right? To get your lust demon off in the middle of just the middle of the street, man. It's traffic and everything is happening. It's busy as hell, and you praying in the middle of the street. People gonna look at you like, what's going on? Oh, he's praying to God. That's a righteous brother, right? You shouldn't wanna be doing that, right? You should be sincerely praying to the Most High, right? Now this is Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiastes 5 and 2, right? So a lot of people didn't know praying was this deep. Some people didn't know you had to do all this when you pray, but now you know, right? First, Ecclesiastes 5 and 2. And it says, be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before Yahweh. Meaning, you shouldn't be hasty. Oh gosh, Lord, please, this, that, and that. You shouldn't be doing that. Or, No, you shouldn't be doing like that, man. The Lord knows what you want to say, but you don't do that. You don't run up to the Most High and you run downstairs, you close the door, and you praying fast as hell to the Most High, right? You don't do that. That's not what the Lord don't want that, right? And it says, for Yahweh is in heaven and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few. So when you pray, your words should be few. You shouldn't be goddamn prayer, a long prayer. You know, you start praying at 5:20, it's 5:25, and you still praying. The Lord been checked out. He been hung up the phone and put it down, and he's sitting there and he doing whatever else the Most High is doing, man. Whatever he does up there in the heavens, he done ended that call already. All right, so your prayer shouldn't be long, man. It should be quick and few words. You should know what you want to say. You got to prepare your words to the Most High, right? You shouldn't just utter words also. You shouldn't just get there, okay, I got to pray fast, so, use few words, so let me go faster, right? Let me pray faster, right? Let me say 150 words in 5 seconds. Then my words are few, right? The Lord's not dealing with that. You need to calm down, prepare what you're going to say to the Most High, and then also, right, you got to have few words when you pray. Now, this is 1 Corinthians 11. 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. Now, I start at 1. It says, 1 Corinthians 11:1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and I keep the ordinance as I deliver them unto you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach. So the head of who's on top of the man? Christ. And the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach, which is Christ, is Yahweh, which is God. So there's an order. So there's Yahweh, which is God, then Yahweh Shai, which is so-called Jesus, then the man, then the woman, and then the child, and so on. Right? Verse 4. And it says, every man praying or prophesying, which teaching and showing brothers things in the scriptures, having his head covered, right, dishonoreth his head. So when you prophesying and you praying, right, so because we're dealing with praying, when you praying, you shouldn't have this on your head. You shouldn't put this on top of your head and then you praying to the Most High. You shouldn't have a do-rag on. You shouldn't have a damn baseball cap on, a snapback, right, your hoodie on. You shouldn't have nothing on your head when you're praying to the Heavenly Father as a man, right? And also when you're prophesying and going to the scriptures, you don't have your head covered. In verse 5, it says, but every woman that prayeth or prophesieth, right, with her head uncovered, so if the woman is praying with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. Now, if a woman is praying with her head uncovered, she's dishonoring her head. She needs to cover her head, right? Because the head of the woman is the man. So she must cover her head, right? For that, so a woman praying with her head uncovered, right? For that is even as one as if she were shaven. So a woman praying with her head uncovered dishonors her head so much that it's like a bald, like it's like she's balding herself. It's like she's walking around with a bald head. And we know women are not supposed to walk around with a bald head, right? Men don't even like that, and the Most High don't like that, right? So you as a woman praying with your head uncovered is as if you might as well shave your head bald, man, because you going off, right? Now, this is Psalms 55 and verse 17. Psalms 55 17. And again, I said it's not going to be long. It's just on praying, real quick. Psalms 55 and verse 17. And again, this is David. It says, evening, morning, and at noon will I pray and cry aloud. So you're supposed to be loud, not, I'm not going to do it in a video because, there's people upstairs and etc. But you're not supposed to be super, just overdoing it, but, you know, lift up your voice like a trumpet, man, right? And he shall hear my voice. So you pray evening, morning, and at noon, right? And cry aloud, and the Lord will hear your voice, man. Right? And one last thing when you pray. Mark 11:24. It says, therefore, I say unto you, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. So when you pray, you must believe in what you're praying for. You must believe that your prayer is actually being heard if you're doing and taking the correct steps. Right? So that being said, I'm going to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. Shalom.